Hey guys, Callie here to take a closer look at the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare reveal trailer. Obviously, the big thing here is the series is going to space. And basically, the story is the UN has joined forces against this evil group called the Settlement Defense Front, who's trying to control all of the resources in the solar system. But one of my favorite things about this trailer is this ship, the Jackal. This is your personal ship. Infinity Ward told us it can go from one mission, you see it here on Earth, going through Earth's atmosphere, into space, dogfighting in space, back to your carrier, and on to the next mission, all without loading screens, which is super, super cool and really opens up this world. But they also said that the Jackal combat isn't really a focus of the combat in Infinite Warfare. They're really leaning into traditional Call of Duty boots on the ground, gun in hand gameplay like we've seen before. This scene really shows that. On the left, there's a guy taking cover. You have your squad. You're moving forward in this dusty battlefield. I mean, we've seen all of this before. Even the weaponry looks typical Call of Duty, not really far future sci-fi. This weapon looks pretty normal. The weapon you're holding here looks pretty normal. But I do want to highlight, pausing right here, there's, a couple different types of soldier loadouts. On the left, you got these jump packs. In the middle, you got a mech of some sort. And on the right, you got typical infantry. And the important thing about that is Infinity Ward has said they're introducing inventive player abilities to Infinite Warfare, and we're not seeing any of that yet in this trailer. The only thing that I really noticed is this gun right here, some sort of energy burst. That's new. That's interesting. Aside from a new weapon, though, or, an enhancement like a mech suit or a jump pack, the player abilities they're referencing could have something to do with Zero-G, because they told us in an interview that they consulted military advisors on what a soldier would need in a Zero-G environment. So you don't see combat in this scene, but it is a sneak peek of what Zero-G looks like in Infinite Warfare, and that's a little hint at what could be happening with player abilities and combat. Moving on, there's a giant mech fighting a tank. Cool. Not new to Call of Duty, of course. The thing I do want to highlight is this really awesome grappling hook takedown. Grappling hook isn't new either. That we saw that in Advanced Warfare, but this is important because this execution is using the unique environment of space, obviously, no oxygen. And that is another thing that they could be referring to with inventive player abilities, but it's not really clear. The other thing I want to highlight is not all of this traditional Call of Duty combat is going to be taking place on Earth, not at all. You see this sort of asteroid rocky surface. It could be Mercury. It's pretty close to the sun. But on the right, you see a vehicle that's parked on the surface. And the important thing about that is it indicates someone's landed here. Later on, we see Saturn, possibly from its moon Titan. We're on some sort of surface. Again, the important thing is we're on these other planets. They've been colonized. And we're going to see that traditional Call of Duty gameplay in a different environment other than Earth. And this environment of space is where that uniqueness comes from. As for the story, it's hard to see, but there's some text here at the bottom. There's a date, 31/01/26. Obviously not going to be 2026, but we get some idea of the time frame. There's also some characters you see in greater detail. This person with a Lebanese flag patch, and a little bit later, we see him backing up just a little bit. We see him with a British flag patch, and it's not clear. These seem to be protagonists. They look to be helping you in the first-person perspective. And Infinity Ward told us they want you to connect with the characters in this story. It's global, but they want you to feel connected. Again, it really seems to be about traditional Call of Duty good versus evil gameplay, countries banding together against a common evil. Last thing, this is just a little Easter egg. These names on the wall are all people who worked, or at least some of them are people who worked on previous Call of Duty games. That's all we know about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's campaign from the trailer. If we missed anything, let us know in the comments. And for all things Call of Duty, you're already in the right place, IGN.